Good morning, and I hope you guys are enjoying the month of Retro Brown. I gotta be honest, it has taken me. I've been worrying a lot about this last couple of months, figuring out if I'm actually going to be able to get done on time for this whole month of videos. Pretty much, long story short, I've been working in Newcastle about an hour away from where I live, and pretty much I'm out the house for about 12 hours a day because of it. But I've managed to get quite a lot done still. It's just been a lot of hard work, really. Today we are back on the Solo Run videos just for the next however many days, 10 days, so we can continue on with our runs. We are doing a Paris run only today, and our rival for today is Frivy. Thank you for subscribing, and welcome to the channel. Let's see how we do here. So, Paris, we did the Parisec run a couple months back, and it actually performed a lot better than I thought it would. But that's because it was the evolved form, and yeah, we did. It was alright. It wasn't the greatest of runs, but it was a decent run. But this time we're going with Paris, the pre-evolution, which is considerably a lot weaker. I mean, look at the base stat total. We got a base stat total of 285. We only barely scraped through our first rival fight. We've only got Scratch to work with until level 13 where we get Stun Spore. And our best stat is the attack at 70 base power. Our speed is a pitiful 25 base. And we really struggle even in Viridian Forest. With all of the Weedles that have got Poison Sting, which is quite effective to us in this generation, along with Fire. Yeah, we've got 4 times weaknesses. So yeah, we are really not using a good Pokemon here. But we do get the move Spore at level 27, so that means it all could turn around. Let's see how we do in the very first gym. We can take down the Diglett quite comfortably, but as soon as we come to the Sandshrew, it's just going to take us down. So we definitely need more levels before we even make this possible. And yeah, even at level 13 where we do get Stun Spore, it still is not a foolproof plan. We can get through the Diglett because we can now outspeed with that, and that's really one of the key things about getting Stun Spore so early, is the fact that we can now outspeed, considering we only have a very pitiful 25 base speed stat. We really don't have a great HP stat as well, and at level 13 we've barely scratched 30 HP. We scraped through that fight with 1 HP again, and I'm kind of worried for how we're going to do against Brock. So let's go in at level 13 and see how we do. Scratch is doing awful damage, and the bad thing about using status moves against Brock, he has 6 full heals per Pokemon. So not really the greatest strategy to use unless you've got a lot of PP to work with, which we do on Stun Spore. But with only 75 base accuracy, it means we're not going to hit him every single time with it. When we finally do get the Stun Spore to hit and to stick, we just have to try and scratch our way through this Geodude, which is not an easy feat. We've got to really hope that he just is stunned by paralysis, but the tackles keep on coming through. We can barely do any damage to him, and we do take a loss. Now, I really didn't want to get to level 20 to get Leech Life to be able to do this, but even at level 18, it's still not an easy fight, and we can barely scrape by this Geodude just at level 18. This is a really bad Pokemon, which is annoying because I really enjoyed the Parasect run. It was a lot funner. Now this point in the game would be a lot easier if we had another grass move. Like Stun Spore is just not great. Spore would be fantastic at this early game, but then it would also make the Paris line probably overpowered. When we get into the Onix, we're at 14 HP. We are dodging a lot of the bites, and we have managed to paralyze him, but we've now run out of paralysis, and as soon as he uses Tackle or Bite, we take a loss. So, inevitably, we did have to go up to level 20 to make this possible, because with Leech Life, yes, it's a terrible base 20 move, but it does have a bit of healing aspect to it. We might only do 1 bit of damage per hit. Oh wow, we did a lot of damage there, wow, we are doing a lot of damage with Leech Life there. Stab bonus on that was really helping us out with being a bug grass type. That puts us in really good stead to go against the Onix. Now we can use he has used Vibe there. We can use Stun Spore to make sure we can get around the paralysis, so we can be a little bit quicker than him. But eventually, level 20, we do take down the Onyx, and that is an awful level to be finishing this point in the game with. I'm not too happy with that. Let's move on to Mount Moon, and in Mount Moon, we don't get up many levels whatsoever, but we meet our first proper poison types. And from here, Leech Life just is a great move. Like, with only having 20 base power, it's probably one of the best bug type moves in this generation, because you cannot get Twin Needle on any Pokemon apart from using the Beedrill line, and it's only on Beedrill itself. Unless you use Metronome, you are not going to get Twin Needle, so most times Leech Life is the best bug type move. Now we have a big problem before we even go against Misty, and that is the Goldeen trainer right in front, because again, flying is 4 times effective to us, so one peck will do huge damage, and we barely have to get through that fight with just taking 1 hit. But the Misty fight in itself, a little bit easier. We've got Leech Life to tackle the Staryu, meaning we can keep our HP up. She's only going to use Tackle because water is resisted. But the problem then comes in with the Starmie. Now, it's not too big of a problem. We want to get it paralyzed, but Leech Life is super effective against Psychic types, which Starmie is, meaning we actually do get a very easy win against Misty. Yes, granted we are level 23, but that's not too much higher than her Starmie. I'm quite happy with that. That brings us on to the next rival fight, and now this is the reason why I went against Misty first, pretty much because he starts off with his Pidgeotto. And we need to take it down, before all the sand attacks get put up, and annoyingly we were on 10 HP going into the Abra. But because it's a Psychic type, Leech Life is perfect here to get back some HP. But we have been sand attacked a lot going into that Charmander. If he uses Ember one time, yeah, we're going to lose. It's 4 times effective, so we're not looking good here against the rival's Ace. So, let's try that again and hope we get a little bit better luck against the Pidgeotto. We can get our HP back against the Abra. And the Rattata is not going to really be a problem unless it uses Hyper Fang here, which I don't think it gets to level 16, so we don't really need to worry too much. We have taken a lot of damage, so we need to hope the Charmander just uses Scratch. And at 2 HP, at level 24, we managed to beat the Nugget Bridge rival. And the reason why we want to go on Nugget Bridge is because after Nugget Bridge, you can go and get the TM for Dig, which gives us a bit more coverage to work with. Now, we haven't got very much to work with on our moveset, but we do have enough to work with. Dig is a great move that takes advantage of our 70 base attack. We can go and pick up Body Slam as well on the SSN. We can get Spore on our level moveset. We can also get Leech Life to get back some HP. But as soon as we can get Mega Drain, we'll probably switch to using that because we do get Stab on it as well. Let's see how we do against the rival on the SSN. Now, Body Slam, fantastic place to pick up Body Slam, and it is going to help us through this entire fight very, very well. Now, at level 26, we still can't outspeed a lot of his Pokemon. Kadabra at level 18, 8 levels lower than ours, we still can't outspeed it. We can learn Spore at level 27, which is fantastic, but we do get taken down by the Charmeleon. Oh my god, Ember is just doing tons of damage to us because of that 4 times super effective damage. The Raticate are not going to be much of a problem whatsoever, and we can get back most of our HP against the Kadabra. It's actually going to be a run where, for once, Kadabra and Alakazam are not going to be an issue for us. They're actually going to be very helpful. Wow, that is a lot of damage from a 40 base Ember. Thankfully, we managed to get it to sleep, we body slam it down, and we can move on to Lieutenant Surge. Now, this is one of the reasons why we wanted to pick up Dig. Because, even though we go into this battle with 20 HP, we've got Leech Life to get our HP back, and then we can Spore it down, take it out with Leech Life. We might do the same against the Pikachu, because if I'm going to go into this this Raichu with full HP, I've got a lot more to work with if it does use Thunderbolt. Ooh, it doesn't do all too much, but we are resisted against it. One Dig will take it down and we get the win. We get the Thunder Badge, and that's 3 badges down, 5 more to go. It's annoying we can't learn Thunderbolt, but have you ever seen a little mushroom Pokemon like this ever use electricity attacks? Now it comes to the Exploding Hiker, and this is another reason why I love the fact we can learn Dig. Every one of his Pokemon either self-destructs, and we can evade out the way, or we can just hit them with dig and finally get a win. It's great. That brings us on to Lavender Tower, and with Lavender Tower comes another rival fight. Now, if we could outspeed any of his Pokemon, this Pokemon would genuinely be broken. But I genuinely feel like the whole reason why they made Paris and Parasect speed so bad is the fact that it gets Spore. If it didn't get Spore, I honestly think that they might have made its speed stat a lot better. But just the fact that Spore is 100% accurate and puts him to sleep. If you can outspeed anybody and put them to sleep straight away without any risk of actually not hitting them, yeah, I understand why they made its speed so bad. Spore is just a broken move. As soon as you can get them to sleep though, that's the reason why we have moves like Leech Life and we can recover HP. Execute does not outspeed, which is perfect, and we can take it down. We go into the Gyarados on full HP. It goes for Leah, meaning we've had a little bit of a badge boost. I think the defense badge boost might be Koga though, so that might not have actually come into play there. But either way, we're on to the final Pokemon. We can tank one Ember at this level and then Body Slam our way through to victory. We could have used Dig there, but I like Body Slam. So we finally got the win in Lavender Tower, and we can move on to Celadon Sea, which honestly will be our easiest gym fight in this entire run. More for the fact that Leech Life will be quite effective against some of her Pokemon, with them being Bug and Poison type. In Gen 1, Bug is super effective against Poison, in later generations it is not. I think it's the reverse as well, but either way, as long as we can get her Pokemon to sleep, even if we're Poison, we can just Leech Life them down, and this 20 base Bug move is just tearing through her team. As long as we can make sure they're incapacitated in some way by either paralysis or sleep, we are going to win this fight. Now, unless we get incredibly lucky here, we're going to win here with Leech Life. 2 Leech Lives get us the win, and even though we've been poisoned, we finish the fight with full HP. That's 4 badges down, and we pick up Mega Drain, which is perfect because Mega Drain is a much more powerful move. We do get Stab on it, and there's a lot of ground type trainers coming up, especially Giovanni for one. But we're going to keep with our move set for now. We're going to use Slash because we are going to get that critical hit chance on it, and from here we can Leech Life, get our HP back against the Onix, and it's going to be... Rock is super effective against us, which does not help. We've got so many weaknesses in this type. It is really... I would say in Gen 1 this is hands down the worst Pokemon typing you could have for the first 151 Pokemon. It's just crazy bad. Oh wow, we managed to tank on 1 HP against the Kangaskhan, get it to sleep, and slash our way to victory. That was a close fight considering we started off with barely any HP as well. But this is where Paris has actually got a good mid-game in Gen 1. It really does have a good mid-game. As soon as you get Spore, you realise the potential of this Pokemon. Even in its base level at 285 base stat, it actually has a good mid-game. That's all I can really say for it though. The early game is awful, the late game is going to hurt. Let's see how we do in Lavender Tower. We are going to finish off all of these rockets, save Mr. Fuji, and then we'll open up the rest of the game. Because either way, we need to go and beat Koga next, or we need to go and beat Sabrina. Each one we do have a super effective typing against. But strangely enough, Sabrina might be the easier fight, but before Sabrina you do have to go through Silphco. And this is a difficult fight because it's the first time we see the rival's Charizard, and his Pidgeot has now got Wing Attack, which does tons of damage to us. We can take it down, the Execute comes out, and thankfully we can outspeed, meaning Leech Life will get back most of our HP. Next up is the Gyarados, and as soon as we can get it to sleep, wow, I forget Dragon Rage does 40 set damage. We're into 28 HP and we need to get some HP back against this Alakazam. Thankfully, it is weak to Leech Life. This is the reason why we've kept Leech Life this long. And wow, even at this level, Ember is a one-shot on us. What level do we have to be where Ember is just not a one-shot on us? So I went up to level 41 because we learned the move Growth. And here we are going to start being cheesy and utilise the Badge Boost glitch. But just because we have the Badge Boost glitch does not mean it is still going to be an easy fight. We take a loss. And so to not waste time, I decided we'll go get a few more levels up against Koga. Because we do have a lot... We will outspeed his coffins, meaning we actually can set up. We can... Flipping heck, he keeps waking up after Spore. We need to keep our Spore PP. My word, he keeps waking up after the second Spore every time. There we go. Now we can finish setting up, and now we can sweep with Dig. So Growth Dig is a pretty good strategy in Gen 1. With the badge boost glitch, Growth is probably the best move you can use. Just for the fact that you can use the badge boost glitch 6 times. Oh, please do not take us out. Wow, that was actually a lot closer than I thought because of the poison damage. That is crazy bad. We pick up Toxic, which we could use, but nah, I'd rather keep sleep moves. We pick up Strength, and then we head back to Saffron City. Now in Saffron City, at level 42, we're still getting one-shotted by either the Pidgeot or the Charizard. So we have to level up a bit more. Level 43, we can tank a Wing Attack, meaning we can set up our growths. We do not have a move that can recover our HP anymore. We've got rid of Leech Life Force for growth. But from here, as long as we can outspeed and use Spore, that's what we want. This is the reason why we're badge boost glitching. We put him to sleep, we slash him down because he's got a chance to do a critical hit. And that is all we are hoping for, is that we can outspeed. And if we can outspeed this Charizard, we will be in the money. We even outspeed the Alakazam, which does mean we will outspeed this Charizard for Spore. There we go, and this is how you beat the rival in Silphcore with a Paris. You have to overlevel, that's the trick. Can pick up our Lapras and move on to Giovanni. So that is... we're quite far into the game now. After this we can go and get our 6th gym badge against Sabrina, but we need to beat Giovanni before we even move through this. Now, the fact we've kept Dig for so long is... it just pays testament to how good this move is on a Paris. Because it's a physical attacking move, 100 base power, 100 accuracy, over 2 turns you can dodge moves, but the main thing is, in this generation, Dig is 100 base power. With our 70 base attack, it gives us a decent attacking option. Slash is great, but it doesn't really work when you badge boost a bit. Wow, Poison Sting took us out. Even at this stage, we are still losing to Giovanni. We really need the badge boost when we do this. Like, I don't know how else we're going to make this possible for the late game. Lead Arena goes down, Kangaskhan's out next, we've set up our full badge boost. Main thing is that Rage is not going to do tons of damage like it did last time. And we're at level 45 going into the Nidoqueen. This is probably one of the higher levels I've had to beat Giovanni and Silphcore for a while. But, welcome to the month of Retro Brown. There we go, that is Giovanni beaten, now we can move on to Sabrina. As long as we dig out of here, go and heal up, we can head straight to the gym, and I'm going to show you guys here how quick you can actually get through this. So when you go into the gym, first one, straight to the left, down, left, left, and there you are. You are at Sabrina. You don't even have to fight any gym trainers. Let's see how we do against Sabrina now. We're going to Spore the very first Kadabra, meaning we can get our growths up, and then Annoyingly growth gets disabled, so we're going to have to go for the slashes. So, once we've got the Mr. Mime to sleep, we can set up the rest of our growths, keep it asleep so we can continue badge boost glitching, and then we'll use Dig to do massive damage. Level 45, we should sweep through this gym, and as long as we don't level up before the Alakazam, we will win this. But a Reflect comes in and Recover hits. Wow. That was a bit back and forth at the end, but I'm quite happy with how that ended up. We've got 6 gym badges, meaning we are going on to probably our hardest gym match for this video, and that is Blaine the Fire-type trainer. Now, all of his Pokemon do know a Fire-type move. We need to outspeed, which we have done on the Growlithe, and set up our growths as early as possible. If we can do that, we can do this gym first time, and it won't be the scariest gym. Once we've fully set up, Dig will sweep through all of his team. We don't want to get hit by a Fire Spin, of course, because that is big damage. We even outspeed the Rapidash. Can we outspeed the Arcanine? We can, and a big Dig gets us the final 7th badge. That's just one gym leader left, and that, of course, is Giovanni. So, how are we going to do against the ground type trainer? We haven't given ourselves Mega Drain yet, we've still got it in the bag. But once we've set up our growths, this Rhyhorn will have nothing it can do against us. As soon as we've set up, we've kept it asleep, Dig will hit, and we get the win on this. And it should be from here, we'll just sweep the entire fight. Level 49, we haven't even reached level 50 yet. We can actually beat Giovanni with a Paris of all things. I know I don't like badge boosting very much, but have you seen this Pokemon? I've got so much working against us. I feel like badge boosting is very well justified for this run. There is 8 gym badges and we can move on to the Pokemon League. But before the Pokemon League, of course, we do have one more rival fight. And this one's going to be a doozy, because this is the first instance that the Charizard knows Flamethrower. And there's a lot of experience to gain in this from a solo run. The Pidgeot knows Wing Attack, which is a very powerful move for us. And we lose very, very quickly. We really need Sport to work in our favour. We need to get our HP back if we can, but we need to learn different moves if we're going to do that. As long as we can keep things asleep, we can keep them incapacitated, we can then do big damage to the likes of Spore and Slash, and then we can move on to get more to work with. As soon as Spore comes out and we can outspeed, we can sweep through most Pokemon. Execute is out next, and it wakes up straight away, which is kind of annoying, but that's why we've got Slash. Dig won't do very much against some of these Pokemon, and Dig won't even hit the Gyarados. This is the whole reason why we've kept Slash so far. Next up is the Alakazam, who we do outspeed, which is great. And 2 slashes will take it down, but we level up, which is bad, which means the Charizard can then use Flamethrower and take us out. As soon as you level up, the Badge Boost glitch cancels out, and the only thing that will have been increased was the special, because that is, well, growth. That's what growth gets increases in stats. So yeah, we need to get through and look at our experience management here for this fight, because when you're going against 6 Pokemon, yeah, you've got to keep an eye on that if you are badge boost glitching. So as we get through to the final Pokemon again on this rival, we need to keep the Alakazam asleep. We can slash it down. 1 slash is more enough to take it down, and we haven't leveled up, meaning the Charizard just needs to stay asleep, and it does after about 3 spores. And 3 slashes will take it down, meaning we can get the win before level 55, which I'm kind of happy about, but being over level 50 at this point in the game is kind of annoying. Let's see how we do against the Elite Four. Now, we should have an easier matchup against some of these, but straight away, Aurora Beam does tons of damage to Paris. We can get our growth set up, but we don't have super effective moves to get our HP back. As long as we can outspeed, we might be okay, but we have used a lot of spores up to try and hit this Dugong. Next up is the Cloyster, and as long as it stays asleep, we will be okay. The main thing I really shouldn't have done though was use Dig here. Because it's a 2-turn move, they had a chance to wake up and then take us out the next turn. So, we need to think differently about this. Let's try this again. We are going to use Mega Drain this time round. Once we've set up our growths, our Mega Drains will do amazing amount of damage because we've been increasing our special that much. So Mega Drain is now a one-shot against all of these Pokemon, because majority of the team are water types. There's only the Jinx who isn't a water type, and that's the reason why we have Dig, because then that'll be super, well, not super effective, but at least very, very powerful. The Lapras can still tank a Mega Drain after all those growths, and we actually moved through at a very low level comparatively to what I was expecting. Going against Bruno at level 61 here. As soon as we can set up our growths, this will be a very easy fight. The Onixes are weak to Mega Drain, and Dig will do big damage on all the rest of his Pokemon. So, level 62 going into this, I realised that we have now actually cancelled out the Badge Boost glitch. But we've set up so many growths that Mega Drain is doing way more damage than Dig will ever do in this fight. So we're just going to Mega Drain the way through the entire fight. And look at that. Even submission can't do too much against us because we resist it because of the bug type. We take out Bruno and move on to Agatha. Now this is the whole reason why we have kept Dig so long, because of her ghost poison types. As soon as we can get him to sleep, we can happily tank a Nightshade, set up our growths, and this is what we want to do. Yes, this might look a little bit boring, the fact that we are badge boosting every single fight. But again, like I said earlier, come on guys, I'm using a Paris. Give me a break. I've had barely much time to do these runs, and I've still managed to get this entire month planned for you guys. Give me a little break. Anyway, once we've got all our badge boosts set up, we even Mega Drain, because we have to on the Golbat of all things. But we can dig through the rest of the Pokemon. It's not until later generations where Gengar line does get Levitate, and then they randomly got rid of it in later generations after that. I think it's like after Generation 6, they got rid of Gengar using Levitate as an ability, which is kind of weird, but it nerfed it into the ground. When we take down Agatha, we have only got 2 more challenges left before this Paris becomes the Cantonian champion. Lance first is going to be a bit of an issue, because he starts off with his Gyarados, who likes to spam Hyper Beam and Hydro Pump. As long as we can get it to sleep, we've got a chance. Once we've got it to sleep, we will set up as many growths as we can. We can now outspeed it because of this, put it back to sleep, and we have to use Mega Drain on it because we don't have Slash anymore. We can use Dig against the Dragonairs, and it is a one-shot on them. We do outspeed all of these, and we have to use Mega Drain against the Aerodactyl. It does wake up a lot of times as we try this, but when we can take it down... Oh, come on, stop using the Hyper Potions. We're into level 64 as we hit the Dragonite. This is not good because Mega Drain is not doing very much on this Dragonite. We've got very little PP to work with here. We need to keep it asleep, but we are going to take it down as long as it doesn't use like a recovery move. Either way, we just need to keep it asleep, and there we go. We only just managed to do that with the PP we had left. I'm very happy with Paris's performance there. This brings us to the very final fight, and this is probably going to be the hardest one because the very first Pokemon, of course, is the Pidgeot. Now, majority of the time he will either go for Sky Attack or he will go for Mirror Move. Both are Flying type moves, meaning his AI should only really go for that. When we can set up our growths, we can try and use we have to use Mega Drain against the Pidgeot because Dig will not hit this Pokemon. And that brings us to the Alakazam, where we can use Spore and then dig through for a quick, easy win. That brings us to Rhydon, and again we can use Dig. If we had lost a lot of HP by this point, it would have been worth us actually using Mega Drain there on the Rhydon. It's the best Pokemon to one-shot with Mega Drain, and you'll get a hell of a lot of HP back. The Exeggutor, as long as you can keep asleep, will not be an issue. It's really weird how a Pokemon with only 3 moves, and not great moves at that, is such an issue when you get to this fight sometimes. That brings us to the very final Pokemon, and I've just realised that is Charizard, and it does outspeed us after we have leveled up, and we don't have a move that can hit it, so as long as we can keep it asleep, we will actually win this, but this is a very dicey fight. We've got 5 PP to work with. It has not woken up by now. Come on, Paris, you can do this. Final Mega Drain gets us the win. And my word, this was hard work. This was a very hard work type of run. But we have proven that Paris can actually solo Gen 1. That's the point of these videos. We're checking to see which ones actually can solo the game. We did this at level 66 at 5 hours and 4 minutes. I don't think anyone would have expected any less or any better than that. But I'm happy we've done this one. Let's see what we do tomorrow. Let's see what we get on the wheel. And I'm looking for something maybe not as much of a challenge. First up is Haunter. Now we have done the Ghastly and the Gengar runs and they've both performed fantastically. Second up is Vileplume. That could be a strong choice. We haven't done anything from the Oddish line in a long time since we did the Gloom video. And third up is Seaking. Now if we went with Seaking, we could finish out the Goldeen line. We'll go with Seaking. We'll finish off that line and we'll see how it does. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. and we will see you tomorrow for another run, the Sea King run. Take care.